What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another War Within video. Hope you're all doing very well. We've got a very special leak today that was on Reddit, and we're going to take this all with a grain of salt because I don't know how real this actually is, but we are going to go through it, okay? There's a potential 2026 roadmap that, you know, Blizzard's done this before. They've been doing these timeline roadmap things before. This one is a leak because it really should not be out this early. So there's a very good chance that a lot of the stuff on here is not true. Take it all with a grain of salt, right? This is just coming from Reddit. But having gone through it myself, there's a lot of stuff on here that kind of looks real to me. And we're going to talk about all of them. So, yo, I really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe on the video. I got to get some coffee. Bye. So, first and foremost, let's just look at the roadmap that we're on right now, okay? So the 2025 roadmap, we are right here in Undermine, okay? So this is the patch that's coming up. We're not quite here yet, but in about 4 weeks, we're going to start Undermine, okay? This is going to be in like end of February, right? Right there, February. So we're going to start Undermine. That's season 2 of the War Within, okay? Then we do these little mini patches, and we might get some horrific visions coming back, which is kind of cool. I forgot that they were even going to be doing that. And then we're going to get to season 3, and this is going to be, it looks like in the middle of the summer, right? So we're talking like July, basically. Okay? June to July for season 3. And then at the very end of the summer, we're going to have this expansion reveal right here. This is the midnight expansion reveal. So that's going to be like August, basically. Okay? And then we're going to have a couple of new content systems, and then we're going to get this player housing thing right here, okay? So let's keep this into context. Right now, we're looking at February for Season 2. Then we're going to be moving into about July for Season 3. So it's like March, April, May, June, July. That makes sense in my brain. 5.5 months per season, 6 months per season, something like that, right? So that makes sense to my brain. Season 3, and then we're going to have the reveal of the World of Warcraft Midnight, and then we'll get to the other stuff. So how does that look on the new timeline? Well, remember, season 3 of the War Within is revealed on that other slide. We just don't even know what it is, right? Season 3 is right here. Again, this is July in the summer. Now we know what's happening on this slide, according to this slide. So let's read it right here. Season 3 of the War Within is going to be the new zone, Deep Grove. It's going to be called Heart Song. Very, very cool. So we have a new zone. I'll get rid of these things. We'll do them again. We got Deep Grove, okay? New raid, Star's Fate. We have a new dungeon, Blackfen Barrow. New Wildkin Renowned. Open world challenges, Warband, Brewfest, season rewards, refresh. So at a first glance, this looks like it could be believable, and part of the reason for that is the story that's been happening in the War Within so far. If we look at where I'm standing in the zones, I'm in this zone between Hallowfall and Ashkahet, and we know that we found the new race here, like the Harrownir race, and we know that they're probably going to become an allied race that's already been basically fully data mined. So I think I had a slide on them here. I must have got rid of it. Doesn't matter. The point is, they're here. And also, somebody was telling me, Sleep was saying on stream that there's something in the lore about this new race that we've discovered tending to the roots of like a world tree right here. And you can see there's, of course, tons of roots in this area. And if we follow it all the way down, we will get to their little base of operations over here. We got to go way underneath. But there's all kinds of roots here that could be signaling a world tree is like nearby, or like this is where it is. And what I'm thinking, this is my speculation, I want to hear what you guys think in the comments down below, but I think that this new Wildkin race that we're gonna discover down here, and Blackfen Barrow, and the new Deep Grove area is going to be down here. This is my little suspicion here. I think it could be kind of right over here. That could be like the new Deep Grove area. That's what I'm thinking. Now, if you have been following on the PTR right now, you'll know that I have been in there, and we've been looking at obviously the Undermine stuff. Undermine takes place over here in the Ringing Deeps. It's like right down here. This is Undermine. in season 2 of the War Within. Season 3 of the War Within could potentially be over here. Could be this Deep Grove. And then the whole story of like they're tending to like a world tree, these new wildkin people that we discover that are tending to like a world tree, and we have to help figure out what's going on there. Like that could potentially be what we're talking about. And then you'd have this new Blackfen Barrow dungeon as well. That could be happening. So that's potentially what we're looking at here in season 3 of the War Within. That's patch 11.2. That's Heartsong, Blackfen Barrow. Now the new raid Star's Fate, I don't really have any idea how that fits in. It feels completely out of place to me to have a raid called Star's Fate. Maybe it has to do, of course, with the Belladar, the Belladar star in Hallowfall, which does make sense, of course. That part makes sense to me, but it tying in with the other stuff that I've talked about down here, I don't know, maybe it all kind of works together. But this idea of having like a Blackfen Barrow and like Wildkin and this Deep Grove zone, it sounds very like natural. And then the raid is actually just going to be up here in Hallowfall, maybe having to do with that Belladar star, and it's going to be completely turned into shadow by Xalatath. Maybe she's going to completely ruin it, or maybe she's going to break the star in half. I don't know. That could be potentially what we're seeing in season 3 of the War Within. Okay, you with me so far? Now, at the end of season 3, we're going to be progressing even further, and we're going to get to, of course, what looks to be about August, let's say. We have August right here. Okay. And that's going to reveal, of course, the Midnight expansion, which we're moving towards. We're going to see all the reveals of what's coming. And this timeline obviously is going to show us that as well. So then we're going to have the story wrap up. Okay. We have story wrap up for Khazalgar. All the Khazalgar story stuff is going to get wrapped up in the next couple of patches into like September, October, into November of 2025. Okay. And we're going to have Drive Worldwide. That sounds kind of cool to me. I think we kind of knew this was probably going to happen anyway. The Haranar Allied Race, those are the people that are already in the game right now, down in the zone that I was just in a second ago, right? That's kind of cool. 21st anniversary, and then these are big right here. Midnight Alpha, Midnight Beta. That's going to be prime time for your man Zuko here, putting out some content talking about what's coming in the new expansion, okay? So we're looking at September to November, okay? Then we're looking at the Midnight pre-patch, and this is going to be, I'm thinking, in December of, again, 2025. Remember, because 2026 starts here, okay? So 2025 is still, we're going to do a cutoff right here. This is 2025. Then we've got 2026. Okay, I just want to keep it clear for you guys, okay? So December of 2025, we're looking at the Midnight pre-patch, and that comes with player housing, which is going to be really cool. That's going to be like the big thing, I think, that's happening in Midnight. As far as I can tell right now, there isn't a whole lot else going on in Midnight that's going to be like amazing in terms of like brand new features. It's going to be player housing. That's the big thing that's happening here, and we're going to get it in the pre-patch. So December 2025, that's roughly 10 to 11 months from right now. We're going to get player housing. Okay, you with me? Then we get World of Warcraft Midnight, okay? That's going to be happening in basically, let's say January, a January release, more like a February release. Let's say February, okay? For the release of World of Warcraft Midnight. We're going to get Silver Moon City as our new hub. 4 new zones, 8 new dungeons, new raid, the Necropolis, new delve experience, hollows, new hero talents. This is potentially the other major expansion feature that's kind of coming, which we're maybe every single spec gets an additional hero tree now. Like right now, each spec has access to 2, right? If I'm playing Enhancement Shaman, I have Stormbringer or Totemic. Maybe I'll get a 3rd one. I don't know. I don't know what this means. New hero talents could just mean that we're getting individual talents added to the hero trees that we already have. So another row gets added or something. Maybe more choice nodes get added, or we could get an entirely new hero tree for every single spec. That sounds like a lot of work. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about that. But we're also going to get this new delve experience called Hollows, which to me just sounds like, instead of having a Khazalgar like mine that you're going into, which all the delves in the War Within are like some sort of, generally speaking, a lot of them are like mines or excavations that have been done. Now we're just going to get like caves. Like it's going to be all kind of caves and more natural. I don't really know. I'm not sure that this means anything, this hollows thing, because to me, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think about that, because there are some delves in the War Within that are kind of cave-like, right? Like the Mycomancer cavern, that is literally a cave. So maybe I'm underestimating how important this new delve experience thing is going to be, but who knows? It's pure speculation at this point, right? New raid, the Necropolis, new dungeons, new zones. Silver Moon City is going to end up being a new area for us, and this, of course, is in the game already, up here in the Eastern Kingdom. So the Eversong Woods and then the Isle of Quel'Danas, we've got the Sunwell up here, and the Sunwell is going to be important in a second. And then, of course, you've got, I don't have this explored because I'm not a Horde person, but Silver Moon City right here. So this apparently, it says right there, Silver Moon City will be our new player home. And that could be really interesting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're going to add more islands to this area. That's my suspicion, because it says 4 new zones, okay? 4 new zones. So maybe, let's get the pen out again. Maybe they're going to end up doing something like this, where you've got your area up here, and they're just going to like, we're just going to discover some new islands that are like over here that are just going to come out of the water suddenly. I mean, this is what keeps happening, right? I don't know, but they're going to say there's 4 new zones. This is not a new zone. This is Silver Moon City. We already know about this zone. So maybe these are the new zones over here. And then later on, we're going to work our way up towards the Sunwell, because there is a raid coming, but we'll get to that in a second. But that's my suspicion. We've got, again, Silver Moon City being our new home. And then we've got 4 new zones that are around the Silver Moon City area. Maybe. I don't know. 8 new dungeons. Okay. Then we're going to move forward here. We've got our... we've got our midnight patch. So again, we're looking at... This is 2026. I'll just write that again. And this was 2025 over here. 2025. Okay. And then you've got, this is probably a February release. Okay. So then we're moving forward in the 2026 timeline. Okay. We've got basically April, probably May, I would say. May, something like that. And then we're going to have June right here. Okay. My writing's awesome. I know. June for Tides of Destiny. So new content, Seas Reach, story and quest. The Seas Reach just sounds like the Siren Isle. So it's going to be another Siren Isle, I would say. This one back in May. 1 second here. The midnight content patch, 12 points per point. Order hall updates to me sounds very interesting, because we're getting player housing in this patch up here, right? In the pre-patch. Then you're going to have basically from December all the way until May. So, you know, December, January, February, March, April, May. That's like 6 months for them to work on player housing and make sure that all the bugs are gone and make sure it's feeling good and looking good. And then maybe in May, in this patch, we can get order halls coming back, being a potential, like, maybe there's sort of player housing and order hall put together. I don't know. I'm not really sure what to think about this, but this could also be something else. So, for example, you're going to have your player housing as one area, okay? This is going to be like one area where you're going to hang out. That's where your character's going to hang out. Then there's going to be the Silver Moon City hub where you're going to hang out, where you're going to get all your quests and stuff. And then there might be now order halls where you could hang out. And what I'm wondering, they don't really want to have 3 separate areas for you to be hanging out, right? Because otherwise that would just probably be bad. Like, then you're going to have less players hanging out in the general areas where probably Blizzard wants you to hang out. But maybe your personal hub is where you're going to have all the stuff, all your achievements, and all the stuff that you can like show off to other people, right? The Silver Moon City hub is going to have all your quests and like the stuff that you actually need to do in the regular game, right? We're just going to say stuff over here. Stuff. Okay. But this is going to be like your quests and all that stuff that you need to do. And then your order halls could end up being all the new... Wow, that arrow is terrible, Zuko. Learn how to draw an arrow. The order halls could end up being like the transmog hub, where you end up getting all the cool like quests and like other options for getting transmog. Like all the vendors are there. all the people who would want to sell you really cool, interesting transmogs, that's where the order halls could come back. Maybe, I don't know. This is what I'm not sure about with this order hall update. That's my like guess right now. Okay, let me know what you think about that. But either way, Blizzard is going to be giving us a lot of different areas that we can hang out in. Our personal home, the regular Silvermoon City hub, and then potentially now order halls, which I'm not really sure how that's all going to work together, but that's my idea. Okay, moving forward into July down here. Okay, this is going to be 12.1 Reckoning. This is really cool. So new zone, Isle of Quel'Danas. That zone already exists. That is the Sunwell zone right there. So again, let me just show you right here. That's up here, Isle of Quel'Danas, and that's where the Sunwell exists. We are going back to the Sunwell potentially in patch 12.1, and we're going to have the Reckoning quest, okay? New raid, Defense of the Sunwell. So my suspicion here is that Xal'atath has now gone to the Sunwell, and she's going to try and maybe she broke the crystal down in Khazalgar and it spread shadows all down there. And now she's going to the Sunwell to suck all the sun out of the Sunwell and make it all shadowy. I don't know. That's obviously ridiculous, but that's the idea that I think is potentially happening here. We have to defend the Sunwell against Xal'atath to make it so that she doesn't, you know, spread darkness across the entire world. Potentially, maybe that's what she's trying to do. Like if she destroys the crystal in Khazalgar, back here, like all the way back here in this raid, then potentially that was like a testing ground for her to see if like her magic was strong enough to do it, and then she's gonna test it on the real thing once we get over here to Defense of the Sunwell. So that's my thought on it. Maybe that's completely wrong. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. We have a new renown track with a new like race or NPC race, which is the Najari. Over here, of course, we had the Wildkin. So again, very similar idea there. New holiday. There we go. Then we have the Winds of Penance. This is really, really cool. This is basically we're looking at September. A September start time here. Naga allied race is going to be joining the game. That is so awesome. So we have the Haranir allied race back here. And then now we're going to have the Naga allied race. Very, very cool. I suspect that I'm hoping potentially they release like new maybe like shaman specs or potentially just a new class altogether, but it doesn't say that on this list. I don't know if that's something they would put here, but a new class could be really, really cool coming alongside the Naga allied race to kind of like bring them into the fold. We'll have to see, but either way, potentially in September of 2026, you're looking at Naga allied race. Then we have kind of a filler one here, Light's Wrath. Nothing's really going on there. You're looking at basically August of 2026. Okay. Then we have the final sort of chapter in my mind for Xal'atath, and that's the Apocalypse Season 3 of World of Warcraft Midnight, which is going to be the final. I think, like, in my opinion, I think that this Defense of the Sunwell, I think we fail. I think we fail to stop Xal'atath from like spreading darkness across the entire world. And then we have patch 12.2, which is Apocalypse, and we get a new zone, the Runes of Nathrazia. And then we have new raid Darkstorm. So it makes me feel like the whole world is in darkness now, that we somehow failed to stop Xal'atath in 12.1. That's my thought. And then in 12.2, we have to actually stop her for real this time. For real, you know? New raid, the Darkstorm, Unseen Renown. So it sounds like a new NPC race of people called the Unseen. New Hollows, new Brewfest, season reward refresh. So that, to me, in a nutshell, is what's happening with this new roadmap. I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. There's a lot of information going on there. I think it's very interesting. To me, the amount of stuff that's on here and the level of detail, to me, makes it feel pretty legit. Also, some of these patches being very void of detail actually also signals to me that this might be correct. That this isn't just like a fake leak. Like, some of these are pretty, they're very like, they need to get fleshed out a little bit more, and they will the closer we get to the release of them, right? Some of these, of course, make sense. They're perfect. They make a lot of sense. They got a lot of detail going on, but some of these are kind of just like, there's not really a lot going on there. But that makes sense to me as somebody looking at this going, you know what? this roadmap, you know, in the old roadmaps as well, they had some moments where there wasn't a lot of detail either, right? Like new content and update system, 21st anniversary, story and quest, new content system. Like that's the exact same thing. New content, Nightfall, story and quest. Like to me, that sounds the exact same as some of these ones here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you down there. Any and all thoughts that you have about this. Do you think this leak is real? Do you think this leak is totally not real? If it's totally ridiculous, I would love for you to let me know as well. Thanks so much again for watching. Love you guys. I will see you in the next one.